look at Floyd. Like, Floyd spends money like it's a tap. Like, he's got a tap, just like unlimited amount of money. Money's just flowing. And even as much money as he's made in his career, which he's probably made as much, if not more money than any boxer ever, like, there's all these lawsuits. Like, he hasn't been paying things, and he owes money on this and owes money on that. It's like, and then he's got to come out of retirement. And when you get into latest watches and latest cars, you get into that shit. Like, boy, that money goes quick.
Yeah.
Bugattis are like 3 million. There's watches that are 3-5 million. That's crazy. So you buy a watch and a car, you're down 10. That's nuts.
It's kind of trapped in a regimen of fight, get the money, spend the money, fight. Fight, get the money, spend the money, fight. You know, there's no investments, no income from anywhere outside of him fighting.
Joe Rogan and 50 Cent are shedding light on Floyd Mayweather's life amid growing claims about his financial struggles.
That's tough.
Yeah.
That's tough. I think it's just the lifestyle that Floyd lived.
Yes.
I think he can't fathom to just live a modest lifestyle. It's like he gotta be lavish.
Right. He's got to have those videos where it shows you all the watches, where he opens the case up, you know.
All the money. He gotta show that he got $1 million in his backpack. And, you know, he got the latest watch and the latest car.
Joe Rogan was joined by Terrence Crawford, and together they raised serious concerns about Floyd Mayweather's extravagant lifestyle, suggesting that even the massive fortune he built through boxing can face financial strain when spending continues without limits. Rogan has highlighted Mayweather's million-dollar watches, luxury vehicles, multiple Bugattis, expensive properties, and constant displays of wealth as examples of how rapidly a fortune can be reduced. He also questioned how long Floyd could realistically sustain such an incredibly lavish lifestyle.
Found himself, like, draining all of his money. He was talking about it like that was the biggest detriment to him being able to save any money.
They trying to keep up.
Yeah, which I thought was funny when I was listening to this conversation with Chad Ochocinco. He was talking about it. He was like,
his jewelry fake.
Yeah, he was wearing fake jewelry.
But who would know?
What's that?
Who would know?
No one would know.
50 Cent has never held back when taking shots at Floyd Mayweather, particularly over the boxer's extravagant lifestyle and financial choices. Their once close friendship eventually turned into a highly public feud, giving 50 Cent plenty of chances to challenge Floyd's carefully built image of wealth. The rapper has repeatedly ridiculed Mayweather's love for luxury, excessive spending, and constant displays of his fortune. From 50 Cent's point of view, showing off expensive cars, watches, cash, and other possessions does not automatically prove that someone is financially secure. Their rivalry has produced countless insults over the years, with 50 frequently turning Floyd's own wealthy image into ammunition against him. Whether he is mocking Mayweather's spending habits or questioning his business decisions, 50 Cent has made it clear that he believes Floyd's financial situation may be far more complicated than what is presented across social media.
So the money's really gone?
Yeah, that's what you think. It's fight, get the money, spend the money, fight.
All that money?
And it's been 2 years.
So is it just his overhead is so high on a day-to-day, month-to-month? Like
I don't even want to talk about it. Like with the lifestyle, that money's gone, trust me. Now it's like, you call him, he'll be at your local hostel in a nightclub, because you need that action right now.
Spencer Cornelia believes Floyd Mayweather's return from retirement could have less to do with his passion for boxing and more to do with the need for another massive payday. Even after earning an enormous fortune throughout his career, Cornelia has questioned whether Mayweather's lavish lifestyle and ongoing financial commitments have created a situation where the money-making machine must continue producing cash.
To add up. Many have speculated that Mayweather is coming out of retirement for a rematch with Pacquiao because he needs the money. Yes, this is why. Around August 2025, Floyd needed cash money, so he decided to start pawning his jewelry. Here's a text on August 25th, 2025 of Jonas sending Floyd an image of his watch and the word loan below. That represents that watch as being within the group that was being pawned. Here's the second image sent on that day. The top image is a collection of watches that were grouped together for a November loan and that many had been returned after the balance was paid down. Here's the next message of another collection of watches that were used for a loan. The image on the left is an exhibit Floyd included in the complaint. Within this list are 4 of the watches you see in the text message on the right that were included in the group of watches that were pawned. This indicates he continues to lie about not knowing that his watches were getting pawned for a loan to fund his lifestyle. What was told to me is that Floyd was running out of money. Now, obviously, his broke is a lot different than broke for me and you, but at this time he needed money, so he decided to pawn $13 million from his watch collection.
Mayweather has reportedly dealt with millions of dollars in tax obligations and other financial pressures, while Cornelia has estimated that maintaining his lavish lifestyle could cost him millions every month. That makes his latest comeback even more intriguing. Mayweather himself has pointed to the huge amounts of money his events can generate, insisting that nobody can produce a larger gate or bring in more revenue from their events. From Cornelia's perspective, the question is no longer simply why Floyd wants to step back into the ring. Instead, it is whether the extravagant lifestyle he created has made another enormous payday a necessity.
Is that his lifestyle is so expensive that he constantly needs to take out loans against all his assets. And it's fine when he's fighting and making money because he can pay the loans back, but it's kind of like musical chairs. Here's Floyd texting about having to give up all of his jewelry and watches and all of his women's bags. Further, he sent the text, "Don't forget about my ladies' Birkins, also that's a part of the $13 million. In December 2025, Floyd texted, "Please keep me updated on my jewelry and Birkins, thanks." Back in March, so around 7 months after he began pawning, he texted his pawn shop lender asking about the balance he owes so Jonah knows what the number is. Jonah, as Floyd's manager and the one who handles all the financial transactions, is the one who ensures that all the loans are paid off. The lender responds $1.85 million in checks, $10.8 million in jewelry, and $1.47 million in fees, and he mentions needing another $360,000 by Friday so the fees don't keep adding up. Floyd received the $13 million for pawning watches in his supposed $100 million watch collection. Jonah shared with me that people pay up to 3% per month, which is why the fees were so high. That loan was almost paid in full. If you reread Joel's message, it makes sense. Joel says, "I have recouped everything and hasn't had to sell any pieces. All that remains is another $360,000 so Floyd doesn't have to pay any more fees." In case you aren't following, Joel can sell the watches that were pawned if Floyd doesn't pay the $13 million back. But he didn't need to sell watches because he was paid back and made $1.5 million in fees. In the complaint, Floyd discusses pawning his $100 million jewelry collection with the words, "to be pledged or placed in the possession of Joel, a Miami jewelry dealer." The amount received was around $13 million. A substantial portion of the pledged jewelry remains in the possession of Joel and Modi, and no accounting has been provided to Mr. Mayweather, and then alleges that the consideration received was diverted by Recknitz and not.
As if that wasn't enough, my mixtape tweeted, "Floyd Mayweather is reportedly being sued again over allegations that he failed to pay $105,000 for private jet services, just days after facing a $330,000 unpaid rent lawsuit and a $7.3 million IRS tax debt." They also added, Business Insider says Floyd Mayweather is on the verge of bankruptcy, with $54 million in debt, foreclosures, and lawsuits beginning to pile up. The situation became even more concerning when a fan questioned the status of Floyd Mayweather Promotions, writing, "Looks like if you try to go to the Floyd Mayweather Promotions website, it doesn't exist. It's over. It's a wrap. Floyd's company has been taken down. It must be because of the debt he can't afford to pay fighters. That's why everyone is leaving." On top of that, Floyd Mayweather has reportedly been hit with a lawsuit claiming he owes more than $500,000 in unpaid rent for a luxury residence in Manhattan. Court documents dated January 8, 2026, allege that Mayweather failed to make rental payments between July and November 2025. The complaint, filed by Perpetual Love Investments LLC, states that the outstanding balance reached $515,834.25. The company claims Mayweather later agreed to repay the debt but failed to meet the December 2, 2025 deadline. Mayweather reportedly signed the lease for the property in late 2024, agreeing to monthly rent of $100,000. According to Business Insider, property owner Layla Sentner and her husband, David Sentner, purchased 2 units in the building in 2016 for $15.3 million before combining them into one massive condominium. Sentner claims Mayweather initially paid his rent on time and in full, but allegedly stopped making payments in July 2025. She says she spoke with him about the missed payments in December, only to discover that he appeared unaware of how much back rent he allegedly owed. Sentner said he was surprised, had no idea he had fallen that far behind, and promised to pay before eventually disappearing without explanation. Rena Cleat, an agent with Pulse International Realty, also said the owners were frustrated by Mayweather's repeated social media posts showing off large amounts of cash during the same period. Cleat explained that one Instagram post featuring stacks of money was sent to her by the owners, who questioned why some of that cash couldn't be used to pay what they were owed. Meanwhile, Bill Haney has also weighed in on Floyd Mayweather's reported financial troubles, and his message is straightforward: stop spending money just to impress women. Haney argues that Mayweather's extravagant lifestyle and constant spending could be adding to the financial pressures surrounding the boxing legend. Floyd has built a reputation around displaying luxury cars, diamond watches, mansions, cash, and an expensive lifestyle that carries an enormous price tag. But the criticism goes beyond simply questioning his spending. It raises a much bigger issue about where his money is actually going and whether maintaining his image of extreme wealth has become financially dangerous.
Taxes, because that seems to kill a lot of the fighters. Like, why do they keep getting caught up with taxes? They talk about Floyd getting caught up, Mike Tyson getting caught up.
Well, that's the financial literacy component that we always, that everyone kind of whispers about, right? Yeah, they whisper about, right? Is the outgo not matching the income. You know what I mean? I think that was one of the things that I spoke with Floyd about, being an example of blowing the dough. For the kids to have that as, and then it's one of those marketing tactics, I believe, that you're going to spend the money, show that you can spend the money. Secretly, you're making a whole lot, but you're creating an image for kids to follow that's not necessarily conducive to financial literacy. Some of the shit, man, you know what I mean? When guys who put their life on the line, who then have to go home short while you give to women, right? In front of the guys, I didn't think that was necessarily cool. When your kids are doing things that they shouldn't do for money because you don't give them the money that you give to women for nothing. Now, I'm not looking at women and looking at him and saying what he should be doing. We were talking, because he was looking for me, and we were talking about the differences in the way my get down is and the differences of the way he get down.
Dana White has also addressed the growing controversy surrounding Floyd Mayweather's finances, and his reaction is certainly revealing. It's a rough situation. Mayweather has earned hundreds of millions of dollars during his legendary boxing career, yet his extravagant lifestyle has continued to spark questions about how much of that fortune he has actually been able to keep. From luxury cars and watches to mansions, private jets, gambling, and massive spending habits, Floyd has never been afraid to live an extremely lavish life. White's remarks add another dimension to the ongoing debate, especially as Mayweather's financial position remains the subject of intense public speculation. If the reported debts, lawsuits, and unpaid financial obligations are accurate, they could paint a very different picture behind the wealthy image Mayweather has built.
Works as hard as he did and, amasses the type of wealth that he had, and then, they lose it or it gets stolen or whatever the deal is. It's horrible, and it happens a lot in professional sports. Who knows? Anything is possible. Maybe we could do something and figure it out for him. But one of the things I wanted to, when you were just saying about like tonight's fight, we have 24 broadcast deals in 93 countries that this went out to tonight, So, for these guys to come over here and have the opportunity to not only get paid, but showcase their skills in front of, I always tell fighters, listen, making money is really important, but as many people as possible on earth seeing the things that you did and accomplished is equally as important.
Thank you.
Floyd Mayweather built one of the largest fortunes in boxing history, but finance commentator Spencer Cornelia has raised serious questions about what may have happened to that wealth after years of extravagant spending. From luxury vehicles and expensive watches to mansions, private jets, gambling, and a massive entourage, Mayweather's lifestyle has reportedly required millions of dollars to sustain. Cornelia's analysis suggests that Floyd's financial concerns may not simply come down to how much money he earned, but also how aggressively he spent it. When expenses remain extremely high for years, even hundreds of millions in career earnings can disappear far quicker than most people would expect.
Is close to Floyd or former managers of Floyd, that he is spending $3 million per month.
I think what's hard for all of us to grasp, and I'm including myself in this, I'm sure you're the same way, and Vegas has taught me this, I live in Las Vegas, Nevada, is that there are a lot of experiences and expenses that the average person just doesn't even know exists. And the best example I like to use is when you go to a nightclub here in Vegas, you can walk in the door and spend $200. The guy 10 feet from you that has bottle service and access to a group of women that he paid a host to get, he might spend $40,000 for the same night in a relatively similar experience. And so within that same night, he spent, whatever the math is, 8,000x what you spent. My point being is that these guys get access to experiences flying private to the F1 that was a recent event. Maybe they fly private, they fly a group of people, a big 10, 12 person cedar jet out to the World Cup. The World Cup tickets, you're buying a suite. I know Floyd Mayweather bought a suite for the Super Bowl. These are $1 million purchases, which if you are a high income earner, generally means you need to make $1.5 to $2 million so that you can spend $1 million. And it becomes very easy to spend this much money. I know it sounds absurd, and yes, we should criticize them. However, there's a lifestyle that us average folks, I include myself in that, we're not even aware of how easy it is to spend 10, 20, 50, 100 grand, $1 million a week.
Then, Boxing Ego also shared his thoughts on Floyd Mayweather, giving his perspective on the boxing legend's career, finances, and highly controversial lifestyle. His remarks add another voice to the growing conversation surrounding Mayweather's financial situation and the choices that have influenced his life beyond the ring.
Floyd always bragged about the money, the cars. I mean, look at his garage. He did videos, it looked like the Grand Theft Auto garage, right? Luxury items, on the private jet, all this stuff. And now there's a bunch of reports that we're gonna go through in this video. Now, I've been covering boxing for double-digit years. Allow me to take you through it. A simple Google search shows Floyd Mayweather. You type in his name, you're gonna see some fight photos and whatnot. But the top stories, and there's multiple stories, and we're gonna take a look at some of them. But as mentioned, Business Insider is now reporting what you see on the screen, that Floyd Mayweather is being accused in lawsuits of owing millions of dollars for luxury watches, gold, and rent on palatial apartment, right? The bullet points. Floyd was sued for allegedly failing to pay rent on a luxurious duplex in Manhattan. The boxer was also hit with 2 new lawsuits over millions in allegedly unpaid bills for jewelry. So keep in mind the terminology, allegedly. Mayweather, we do know he sued Showtime Networks, alleging it helped his ex-manager deprive him of $340 million, which I mentioned earlier. It says, and this will all be linked in the description so you can have a copy or whatnot. Former boxing champ Floyd Mayweather has been hit with 3 new lawsuits alleging that he failed to pay millions to 2 jewelry stores and that he owes hundreds of thousands of dollars in rent on a palatial luxury man.
Logan Paul has once again brought attention to Floyd Mayweather's finances by claiming that the boxing legend still owes him $3 million. The allegation reportedly comes from their highly publicized exhibition fight, which attracted massive attention and generated significant revenue. According to Paul, the money he claims Mayweather owes him has still not been paid, adding another dimension to the growing speculation about Floyd's financial situation. Mayweather has built his reputation around enormous earnings, lavish spending, and his famous money persona, making any allegation involving unpaid debts particularly attention-grabbing. The reported $3 million dispute also raises questions about the financial agreements surrounding Mayweather's exhibition bouts and how the business side of those events was ultimately handled.